One West on 25th Street, Harlem, New York. I get the manager on your honor. Here you go. We are the most industrious people on the planet. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the whole damn world needs us.
Yeah,
You
right.
see what I'm saying? You know, as a matter of fact, that's actually in Romans, when it talks about I'm paraphrasing, when it talks about this destroyer of them, the riches of the Gentiles, the diminishing of them, the riches of the Gentiles. But that's in Romans or whatever. You know, we're not going to go there. But as I was saying though, you know, we are the industrious people. Everything that they got from us. And if our spirit is taken off of that thing, right? Because we think that, you know, a lot of people think that they'll be able to learn what we learn and all of a sudden end up being self-propelling and self-functioning. That's not how it's going to work. The Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian spirit. You see what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, let me give you an example. White people know how to play basketball, right? They know how to play basketball. You know, a lot of them are pretty good at it, right?
Right.
But see, because they imitate us, right? Boxing, the same thing. But let me tell you what really, when it all boils down to, what really holds those things afloat. What really holds those things afloat is being the fact that they were able to take the prophets, you know what I'm saying, and the most powerful people on the earth and make them their ox. You see what I'm saying? Make them their tool to build up their kingdom. And that's the whole core of entertainment, to be honest with you. That's the whole core of entertainment, and it's the whole core of everything, the whole fabric of America is being the fact that they took the people of God and made the people of God slaves.
Right.
They gloat in that. Now, we separate, that takes the gloating away. You see what I'm saying? So now, if you was to remove all black people out of boxing and basketball, even white people, even though white people have became good at it and everything, the whole core of the entertainment is gone. Because those same white dudes that can dunk are not the slaves.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that would take away from the whole core of the entertainment. Just like when in the dark ages, they were throwing us in arenas and all that, in the time of the apostles, right?
Right.
You had white people that was fighting animals and all that too, right? But who was the core of what they was able to take the people of the Lord and throw us in the rings and arenas to entertain them?
Right.
That was the core of the entertainment, right?
Right.
And it's like that with everything else.
Right.
Regardless of what it is, entertainment or it's building or whatever the case is, your spirit comes off of it, it's through.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Go ahead, Ward.
So if I would, so like the scriptures say, you are the salt of the earth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You give everything its flavor. Like it's cool, but when a nigga get a hold of it, it becomes,
right.
And I'm gonna use this slang here, it becomes this shit.
Right, exactly. I mean, just like in the dark ages, also too, or not the dark ages, but before, you know, we took over Europe and all that, they would take gladiator sweat, bottle it up,
Right.
and make perfume for white women and use that as an aphrodisiac type of perfume.
Right.
Now, what is the logic behind that, right? Being the fact that this big, our image, this big sweaty slave, this gorilla, this hated Hebrew, right? Which is this sexually arousing turn on to right, exactly. It's not going to have the same effect.
Keep all that animals away from you. Use
right,
the caveman sweat.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? The caveman sweat is not going to do a lot. It's that brute.
Well, it's supposed to, you know what I'm saying? It was the modern day Viagra.
Right. Because we are the people that are hated by the world.
Right.
And the people that are hated by the whole world by default is like the sexual attraction of every goddamn woman on the planet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because of her rebellious nature kick in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right, sir.
You know, that kick in, and nothing entices that more than the people that her father hates more than any goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's where the attraction's at. Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead, Ward.
Yeah, it's a sick thrill for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Damn sure ain't love or nothing
No,
like
hell
that.
no. It's nowhere near that.
Sick thrill for
Right. Right.
They get off on it.
Right. Because the same white woman, just like in one of the pictures there, when she's standing there watching that black man hang with a smile on her face, it'll be the same goddamn black woman that'll have a threesome with 3 black men.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, they're eating us. This is what they're actually literally doing.
Yeah, right.
We're food. You see what I'm saying? All right. Now, with this whole situation with the Mexicans, let's get into that. Now, Mexicans, they do a whole lot of the work, and then see, here's the thing. See, this is one of the differences between, Mexicans and blacks, which is, Mexicans being the tribe of Isupk, and us blacks being the tribe of Judah, right? Judah's quick to hop up and say, look, this ain't right. You know what I'm saying? While Isupk doesn't really have that type of, you know what I'm saying? They have to come behind us. Just like in the riots in LA, during the time of the Rodney King and the original Denny and all of that stuff. Remember that stuff? I'm an OG. You know what I'm saying? But the Mexicans joined in right behind us, right with us, and that's the white people saw that and that scared the shit out of them.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh my goodness, we can't. And that's why, and they understood that music played a big, huge role in that also. You know what I'm saying? But like I was saying, though, not to get off topic, but, we are the most industrial, we are the industrial people, and we're the fabric that holds every damn thing together. You see what I'm saying? We are what pumps everybody, we make wealth for everything. Let me tell you why the south side of Chicago look the way it does. Right? The south side of Chicago is the way that it is. Well, wait a minute. Let me reverse that. The north side of Chicago, rather, is the way that it is because the south side of Chicago is the way that it is. It's almost like it's almost like a seesaw effect.
Come.
You know what I'm saying? It's almost like you push one side of the seesaw down, the other side come up.
Right.
So the south side of Chicago is pushed down. So now you have all the glory of the north side that's owned by all white people every damn word. Go ahead,
right. And then you know what the sad part about it is that everybody respects that north side of Chicago. Like niggas would be over there. Like I see it down here in my own city. I'm gonna use 38th Street for an example. 38th and Meridian for people in that town. I'm gonna explain it to you. This is 38th Street. On the right side is where niggas live. All the tribe of Judah you can think of. We over there, right? And on the left side is the white people, right? So here's how it happened. Somebody get into it on the left side where the white people live, and then will cross the street and then shoot a nigga because they respect that white side. You get what I'm saying? They won't throw out they be riding their car, drinking and eating McDonald's, and won't throw shit out their windows, locking my language. Won't throw a piece of paper out their window when they over there in that white neighborhood. But the second they get over to the hood, they just swing it out the window. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny that you mentioned that because in Louisville you got the same type of deal. Me and Karab, we used to joke about that. We used to be like, you know what I'm saying? We'd be like, man, a nigga killed the hell out of a nigga over here. The bullets hit their mark over here. But goddamn, the bullet shoot over to that side, that goddamn thing just turned itself. You know what I'm saying? Right. Where the white people's at, that motherfucker do this and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Them bullets don't even go down their goddamn block.
Damn right.
That's funny. We used to say stuff like that. We used to joke about things like that.
But it's the truth though.
Right,
you know
right.
While that white people side is up, that nigga side is down.
Right. So what does that also tell you?
That there is no such thing as equality.
Right. So, and to put that on the flip side, right? When our side is up, what gotta happen?
Them devils gotta go down, sir. Them heathen nations gotta go down.
Now you start to understand warfare.
Damn right.
Warfare ain't only fought with guns and stuff like that. Brotherhood and the Isupk is what's gonna actually make that possible.
Damn right.
You see what I'm saying? We the only ones that actually have the blueprint for the thing. They, these fake groups and everything, they don't have any type of blueprint for brotherhood or anything like that. They don't care anything about brotherhood for real.
Yeah, I'm right.
They just know that they're Israel, and then they sing songs.
That's enough for them.
And they actually hate their brothers that are Israelites, and they will justify the heathens for doing what they doing to us.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They will justify them for it. Go ahead.
Right, so lucky if I would. Like, man, it's funny because it's a little clip of like 800 homosexuals walking around in purple, right? I refuse to give them any glory on this goddamn show, on this platform. But it's a clip of 800 homosexuals walking around in purple, right? And everybody just seems that like they marching for some bullshit. So lucky my language, they marching. We've been marching since Martin Luther King. We have been marching since Martin Luther King, and what has ever got accomplished by marching? You get what I'm saying? My thing is this: where's their circle of brotherhood? Where's them putting their money in the pot? You got enough money to do that? Put that money in the pot and have a barbecue and invite all the people from that same neighborhood that's in that neighborhood killing each other and murdering each other. Invite them to a barbecue and drop the truth on it.
Right.
How about that? Spend your money on that. You get what I'm saying?
You know what?
And then that's the same group that told you they was snitch on you for
exactly.
30 shekels.
And what did they, you know why they won't invite nobody? Because just like it said in Isaiah, it says, stand by thyself, for I am holier than thou.
Right.
That's why they won't invite anybody from the world into their body.
Yeah,
that's why.
Because they got that Christian spirit.
And if they do, they will strategically invite certain brothers or sisters or whatever that they figure is, that they might join them or whatever. They'll invite them to something. You know what I'm saying? It won't be something for public for everybody to see or anything like that.
Right.
They'll invite them into a little cubby hole in their house. Go ahead.
So lucky. But they put that money together to go to Africa to get a general booty naked.
And they will invite all of them.
Right.
They will invite all of them. They will set out there one of them red dirt mud hut villages with the bonsai trees, and they'll have a big event there. And also too, the Purple Leader also bought a flat screen TV for some people in Ghana, right? Now think about this for a second. They sitting there charging all of the people from the United States that have jobs, that only have jobs, that don't own anything. They just have jobs, but they charging them this money while they're taking the resources and shipping it over to Ghana. That means they're actually Pan-African. They're Pan-Africans, what they are.
The Kemet community.
Right. Because Pan-Africa is actually, Pan-African only means taking money and getting resources and money to Africa.
Right.
Hell, the Chinese that are building infrastructure in Africa right now are Pan-Africans.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? They're Pan-Africans too. Moab is Pan-African.
Right.
Esau is Pan-African.
Yeah, right. So
you see what I'm saying? Because they understand that they need it. There's such a large continent, and so many people that they're gonna need their assistance. That's a whole damn continent, ain't it?
Right.
They're gonna need their assistance when World War III pops up. You see what I'm saying? They're going to need the assistance of Africa, and the Africans are actually using that to their advantage. So I can't knock them for that. They're making some pretty smart moves. China's coming down and building infrastructure and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And what are the African people doing? The African people, this Chinese actually working on these things.
Right.
Go ahead.
That's so lucky. And the funny part is, and when you come over here to America, these fucking Tasalaki, I almost went crazy. These heathen ass Africans actually have more wealth than the tribe of Israel here, than the tribe of Judah here.
They got a whole nation over here.
Damn right. They have more wealth. These Africans own gas stations. These Africans own hair salons. These Africans come over here and they accumulate all this wealth in the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community and don't do anything for that community, but then still you running over there to Africa to try to help them.
Right, and let's not go to the Nigerian things that they got going on in Texas, and also too the damn scams they were just busting on MSNBC making millions of dollars. And if we really actually believe that they're the same people as us, think about this for a second. On MSNBC, the same dude to do the Catch a Predator thing. What is his name? Dateline or whatever?
Mike Hansen.
Yeah. He did the damn investigation on them. They were also scamming. Yeah, they were scamming also white people too.
Right.
Now ask yourself the question, but at the same time, when they were scamming these white people, if they do go to jail, they're gonna go to a jail that's gonna be like a country club for about 2 years. You know why? Because that's a white collar crime.
Right,
and they're scamming a bunch of white people with that, right along with blacks.
Right.
And it only became a problem when they start scamming white people though.
Right.
And of course they're gonna get slapped on the wrist for that too. They're not us. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
America wants some type of, allegiance with Africa and everything, so they're not going to sit there and take the ones that scam, the white people and everything and throw them in jail for 100 years or anything like that. They're not going to do that.
Right.
They're going to get 2 years at some country club or whatever, and then they're going to be released out to go and scam again.
Yeah, right.
You see what I'm saying? They are not us. Don't let anybody fool you into thinking that us and them are the same. We're not. We're two totally separate bloodlines.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Ward.
So lucky. And the funny part is they know they're not us. The only time you ever hear them even trying to unite is when they see us blazing on them, telling black people that you're not no African and to separate. Then they come up on some Christianity bullcrap, talking about we all children under God and everything. We're all humans. We should love each other and we got to come together. That's the only time when you exposing their crimes and how they was a part of the transatlantic slave trade. When you exposing an African, it's the only time that he wants to be at peace with you.
Right.
It's the only time. Other than that, he's gonna shut up and walk past you. You don't matter what you're going through. I've said this 1,000 times. How many Africans live in the hood?
Right.
How many Africans live in your ghetto and mess with you and hang with you? Wakanda forever, do the little Wakanda forever thing.
And you know what? It's like in Louisville, right? You got an area called Greystone. And Greystone used to be full of, the tribe of Judah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But then you start to see something as the years went past, right? All the tribe of Judah was moved out, and then they started moving in Africans, not only the Africans, but they started moving in, people from Nepal and Turkish and all of them, you know what I'm saying, into the same little place, right?
So, like, if I go real quick, the most important thing that you said about that statement was they started to move out the tribe of Judah. Right. They started to move out the nation of Israel.
Yes, they moved blacks out.
Before they moved the other so-called Negroes in.
Right.
Which is the fucking,
they moved Sudanese. Right. They moved Sudanese in. You know what I'm saying? They moved like 4 or 5 down Africa, try to move Sudanese, Ethiopians. Right. You know what I'm saying? All of these tribes, all of these groups that we think are actually us, that we one with them, you know what I'm saying? Bull crap, they moved us out and moved them in. And what eventually happens is, once they get their footing and placing in America, they'll move them right out and they'll move Judah back in. Right. That's what they do in all of these places, you know what I'm saying? They'll try, or either they'll keep it to where they'll bring in the next wave, and the next wave, and the next wave. You see what I'm saying? Of immigrants. They don't do that, you know what I'm saying? That's the way that they be operating, bringing in people from Yemen, people from Nepal, you know what I'm saying? Turkish, people, all of that, you know what I'm saying? Right. Bosnians, go ahead.
Salaki. And at the same time they're moving all these other heathen nations in, they're destroying the brotherhood of the nation of Israel.
Right, exactly.
That's their main goal.
They're scattering us out to where we don't have any real base for real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Greystone was almost like a base, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Niggas was against the cops. You know what I'm saying? Cops was against niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The word police, the narcs used to always be up through there all the damn time. You know what I'm saying? And, it was an us and them type of situation.
Yeah, right.
What do? They strategically move us out, move in the foreigners. So now we got to go be scattered out on the outskirts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
That's the way that they do things. They like things scattered out. They want us to be scattered and divided. You will be surprised at how much white people invest in the division of blacks.
Damn right. So lucky if I was.
They spare no expense. Go ahead, Ward.
That's exactly why every ghetto now is being gentrified.
Mm-hmm.
They're running all the low income places up out of there, and they're doing that purposely to scatter the hood. You get what I'm saying? Like, for example, I'll bring it back here to Naptown where I know personally, like, and any brother can relate to this. Like, we're on 10th Street, right? Now, Forrest, the Brothers in the World, the gang affiliation 10th Street was powerful. You get what I'm saying? 10th Street, you knew not to come on 10th Street if you wasn't from 10th Street or part of 19th Street, Roosevelt, Connect gang. You get what I'm saying? Like, you had to have strong ties in this hood. White people couldn't even walk through here at one point in time. They would get beat up. You get what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't safe for white people. Now, when you look on 10th Street, they scattered 10th Street.
Right, they're jogging.
They walking the dogs, they're jogging.
Hey, guys. You know what I'm saying? They're doing all of that now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then when you go down certain side streets as a black man, when you go down certain side streets, it's all white people. They looking at you weird. They looking at you like, what the hell are you doing walking down this side street on 10th Street? You get what I'm saying? They can gentrify your neighborhoods, but try that shit out in Carmel. Try that shit out in Guys. Try that shit, so like in my language, try that stuff wherever white people are gathered and congregating heavy. Try it.
Eventually, they'll be doing that to black people here on 10th Street.
Right.
They're going to eventually start to look at us like we're strange. What are you doing here?
It's already happening in certain blocks.
You know what I'm saying? White people, that's why when you go back to Genesis, it said the serpent was the most subtle beast of the field.
Right.
That is a subtle act. At first, they're here, hey guy, because they know that they're a damn stranger here.
Right.
But eventually, a year or so, they're like, okay, hey, like they belong there. And then a year after that, they're looking at you like, what the hell are you doing here?
Right.
Now, police, they're looking at you like that. That's subtlety right there.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? The white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
He's the most subtle beast of the field. Let's get this understood.
Damn right, sir. Damn right.
I don't give a damn if he grew up around black people, grew up around Mexicans, because you have those kind too. They are, I'm part Mexican, I'm part Native Indian. You know what I'm saying? I'm part of all of this. Right? They'll say all of that because what they want to do is they want to embrace a brotherhood with you while they destroy your ass so that you don't see them as the enemy. The white man is a goddamn snake. He's not a lion. He's not anything. We are the lions. The white man is a snake.
Damn right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. So lucky if I would, like Cap say, they do some type of Jedi mind trick and people don't see him as a villain. Here's the thing. The white man, since he got over here, ain't stopped killing.
Right.
Since he got over here, he has not stopped killing.
Right.
I mean, the shit that was going on back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s is still going on in the age of 2018.
Right.
It's still going on. It has not stopped. The white man has not stopped, and the white man will not stop. You get what I'm saying? He can't stop.
Right. And let me hit you on to something right quick. You know what I'm saying? The white man, right? You know, because we know that he's the devil, and the white man, anytime that you in like some type of, you on the YouTube and battling with them, they always result back to the gun for warfare, right?
Right.
What did the Issacharites do in that company when the ICE came into the place to try and apprehend certain Issacharites that was inside that factory, in that warehouse?
Yeah, right.
Well, what did they do, Warrior? Go ahead.
They simply packed up and cut out.
Yes, and they all moved in unison with doing so.
They did it as a nation.
Right. So it's all battles fought by the gun?
Hell no, sir.
Right.
The weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
Right.
That's what scripture said. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal. Something like that made a big ass point and made a big ass impact. And here's what they did. The same thing the Isupk has been saying since 1969. They separated.
Right. Let's implement the program all throughout the nation.
Damn
because what did those people do? They moved in unison.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? They you lock up our brothers, and that was a hell of a strategic move.
Right.
Let me tell you. Let me start to explain why. That was a hell of a strategic move because these companies rely on Isupk.
Right.
But they also rely on your division and stuff.
Right.
Because what they wanted to be able, I don't know how many people it was that actually got locked up and that they went to arrest and apprehend or whatever, right? But let's say it was 10, out of a factory that has 200 Mexicans.
Right.
They came to get 10. You see what I'm saying? Now they came to get these 10, right? And they're just saying that the Mexicans didn't, you know, they was like, well, damn, well, they criminals, they illegal and everything, so
that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Right. They got nothing to do with me. Then they would have took those 10.
Right.
Then they would have came in for 10 more.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
And then they would have. Here's what they would do too. After they get those, they would have their supervisor, all the supervisors in that company and everything, to be going around to the other Mexicans and start to be nice to them and just see where their mind is at. You know what I'm saying? Concerning what just happened. Just like what they do to us.
Okay?
When they fire blacks on certain companies and everything, they'll go to the other blacks and try and eavesdrop and try and act like they nice and everything to try and see how the general people think about that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
So lucky, and if I would, sir, like, and what was powerful about that, about the Michigan Wright brothers, you know what I'm saying? Like, here's what they didn't do. They didn't march. They didn't protest. They simply separated.
Yes. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They didn't go out on the street
They make signs.
and walk like, you know what I'm saying, they walking to usher in homosexuality and make it acceptable among the nation.
Right.
They didn't go out to do that.
Damn right.
They simply separated themselves and it became black and white.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
It became black people versus white people because Mexicans are black.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
That's what it became, and the white people said, "Oh shit," you know what I'm saying? They said, "Oh damn,
man, we done messed up.
Yeah. Now think about it. Now look at it from the perspective of that company, right? The company need Mexicans for cheap labor.
Right.
With all of them deciding to leave, right?
Right.
What that do to the company?
Oh man, that made the company lose millions of dollars.
Right. So now what the company got to do? Because the company seen the move that the people make. So now they got to say, we can't allow y'all to come in and do that anymore.
Right.
We can't allow y'all to come in and do that no more.
Yeah, right.
Or if they do allow them to come in and do that, all the Mexicans would leave. Now who they got to hire now? They got to hire white people who are going to want way more money.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And it's going to hurt white people in their goddamn pocket. Fight a white man, you fight him through his pocket.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn
because
right.
now, what he got to pay the Mexicans $7.25 to do, now he got to pay some white people 16, 17,
right.
18 goddamn dollars an hour to do. And that don't even count the people that supervisors and stuff like that. So how much that hit the pocket of them goddamn, that company?
Damn right. So lucky, if I would, they went from making a $60 million profit to making a $2 million profit.
And you know what?
Yeah,
Right.
And
you know what?
For that.
Even with the white devils coming in and making $16, $17, $18 an hour, you know what else they're not only going to want that. Let me tell you what else they're going to want. They're going to want 2-hour breaks.
Right. Paid for it.
Right. They're going to want 3 breaks. One will be a 45-minute break. The next will be 2 hours, and the next will be a 45-minute break. Just like a black and Hispanic will get a 15-minute break, a 30-minute break, and another 15 minutes. Right. They don't want a 45, 2 hour, 45.
And the difference is the white man's on the clock and the black and Hispanic is clocking out.
Right.
And then the white man's going to say, well, what's my 401k look like? What about my insurance?
Right.
What about all of these things?
They gonna demand a lot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why they sit there and act like black and Hispanics, y'all just ask too much. They're gonna ask a lot.
Right.
They're not gonna stop at $16, $17 an hour, good benefit. They're gonna keep wanting more.
So every 6
months, the white man is an insatiable beast.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? Even the poor of them are like that too. It doesn't matter. Rich or poor, they're insatiable. You see what I'm saying? They're going to keep wanting more and more and more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
That's why they want to hire Mexicans and blacks in these companies, because we would just be thankful just to be working there.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Go ahead, Ward.
To hit on what you just said, and that's that Christian church mentality. Just be thankful for a job.
Right. White people never think like that.
Right.
They never think like that. Now, hell, that's one of the reasons why they get in power and shit. Because they don't think like that. Now, with what the Mexicans did, when they all moved in unison, let's learn a nugget of wisdom right quick. That King Solomon had mentioned. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 27.
Come. But before we go there, sir, can I elaborate on something that you were saying?
Go ahead.
Like prime example, what you were saying about the Israelites and how they work for cheap. Prime example, when ICE first came on the scene and they started snatching the Messerite brothers up that was working on farmlands, what happened to the farming industry? The farming industry started going downhill. That's why when you go in the grocery store now, you see all the fruits and produce, the price has shot up, inflation on the prices. Because the same brothers that was out there picking all their fruits and vegetables for cents on the dollar is locked up now. And the farmers ain't about to go hire nobody else to do it, no white devils to do it.
Right.
For the simple fact they gonna want 20 an hour.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 15
they gonna want full benefits from every goddamn thing.
So you want me out in the sun?
They're gonna want the sun, moon, and stars.
Right.
They're gonna want everything.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's why they don't hire white people to do stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you another thing before we go into this scripture also. Now, with the Mexicans doing that, right? Them separating themselves inside their company. Let me tell you what conclusion that white people are going to come with. Because if they do this in 3, 4, 5 countries, they're like, oh my goodness, this thing is trending.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is trending right here. Now they're going to start shifting to blacks. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Now they're going to shift what they were doing to ICE was doing to Mexicans because they like, man, because we can't, because the corporation, ICE going to be like, damn, the corporations is coming against us now. The ones who we were formerly Confederate against, where we go and nab up Mexicans and everything, now we can't do that no more because that company won. You know what I'm saying? So we're like, so they like, and this thing is going to start trending. But you know who everybody hates more than anybody?
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The tribe of Judah, the niggas.
Right. Yeah, the blacks specifically. We'll go with blacks for right now specifically. Because they like, hell, their own leaders don't even mess with them like that. Right. Now we can do the same. We can do this to them. Right.
That's a lot, if I would, sir, real quick before we get to the scriptures. That's what they setting up for anyway.
Right.
That's what all this whole mess has been about anyway. A way to work, you know what I'm saying? We can't start with the blacks. We already gunning them down in the streets every goddamn day. So we gonna start over here and work our way to them. Everybody knows where this is heading.
Right.
Everybody knows where this is heading.
Take a page out of the book of Isupk for a second. Yeah, right. Remember what happened with that. And let me tell you what nugget of wisdom that they had to get them into that mindset. Give me that Proverbs 30 and 27.
Come. Proverbs 30 and 27. The locusts have no king.
No, it says the locusts have no king. Now we know what a locust is, right? The locusts come, fly in, they eat the crop, and they such and such. Right. They have, but they all move in swarms. You know what I'm saying? Right. And they don't have no king. They don't have nobody tell them, go do this, do that. Shut up. The Mexicans, you don't. What Mexican leader do you know of?
Right.
Hell, I don't know of one other than Gaspar Yanga and Pancho Villa.
What's the comedian name?
Nah, he ain't no guy. Yeah, I know. That's entertainer. That's entertainer.
But that's their leader. That's what I'm saying.
They don't have no leader.
That's what I'm saying. They don't have.
You know what I'm saying? that entertainer would never told him to do that in that company. His career would be through.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? So, who told her they all moved in unison? There wasn't no lead Mexican that said, charge! We're going this way.
Right.
They all knew to move in unison that way. Give me that scripture again.
Come. The locusts have no king.
The locusts have no king, right? Go ahead.
Yet go forth, all of them, by bands.
They all go forth by bands. When you see locusts and they going in a swarm of a million locusts, they'll turn at the drop of a damn dime. You know what I'm saying? They'll be going one way and wham, and go the other way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? See that right there? That's what the locusts do. Now, we certainly ain't the locust people because we don't go into anywhere, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we don't go into anywhere and devour up all the resources.
Right.
Because that's one of the characteristics of a locust. but that's not how King Solomon is actually speaking of the locusts in this text right here.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? He's not speaking of locusts in that way, in that context.
Because
actually, right. The white man is actually the locust.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, Gadites call them that.
Yeah,
they call them the locust people because what do? They come and devour up every goddamn thing.
Yeah, right.
You see what I'm saying?
Still doing it.
We don't go and devour up any damn thing.
Right.
We're at the bottom and everybody devours us.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's why the Africans can have stores in our neighborhoods. The Arabs can sell us chicken. You know what I'm saying? They and gas. You know, the East Indians sell us, you know, they can sell us gas, and the Vietnamese do our women's nails.
Right.
You know, all of this stuff is taking every resource that we got and shifting it to another people. So you tell me who the goddamn, who the leeches are. Yeah, they're leeching off us.
Yeah, right.
Go ahead.
It's lucky, sir. And just to put a quick note on that, and we've been here the goddamn longest. We was first here. Like niggas was brought in them slave ships over here. Not no goddamn Chinese, not no goddamn Koreans, not no goddamn Africans.
They came here as ambassadors.
They came here with green cards.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difference when you come as an ambassador, you know what I'm saying,
right.
and a guest, than when you come as a goddamn chattel slave. You see what I'm saying? That's the reason why we're not getting it like they getting it,
right.
Because we came as chattel slaves.
Right.
Go ahead.
And this is America, right? And it's equal opportunity, right? So where the hell is our equal opportunity? Where is the black-owned gas station? Where is the black-owned nail salon? Where is the black-owned hair spot, food chain, all of that? And I'm not talking about some little hole in the wall that a brother didn't made. I'm talking about the conglomerate. How you say conglomerate?
Conglomerate?
Yeah, the conglomerate of chains. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That hires only their people, like the Chinese restaurant,
right?
Like the Korean nail salon.
Right.
You don't see black people working in them, and if you do, it's very few and far in between, and that's a complete sellout because they're gonna treat you worse than the Korean do. It's a clip going around on YouTube how they beat a grandmother and her grandkids.
Right.
Beat her down over 5 hours.
Right.
She just spent 100 in there, but they beat her over 5 because they messed up.
Right. Yeah, let's go on. Let's go any more on that scripture.
Wow, sir.
Okay. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 25, verse 19.
Come.
White man's goddamn devil about to speak.
That's right. Proverbs 25 and 19. Confederate. That's lucky. Confidence in the unfaithful.
Chop it word by word.
Confidence in the unlawful man in the time of trouble.
No. Confidence in an unlawful man in a time of trouble. Go ahead.
It's like a broken tooth.
It's like a broken tooth because you can't trust a broken tooth. You know what I'm saying? You bite into something like, oh shit, it's gonna hurt if I bite this. Like
yeah,
this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And a foot out of joint.
And a foot out of joint because if you decide you want to take off running to go catch the bus, and you got a foot out of joint, you think, goddamn, my ass gonna get let's ride or lean up on this and bust my goddamn knee. Yeah, skin my damn hands up, you know what I'm saying? Trying to run and catch this damn bus. You can't trust him. Right? Now let me show you something. When it comes to the sisters. You know what I'm saying? Certain sisters you just can't rely upon. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because in reality, a lot of sisters don't want to see us get the kingdom. They like things the way that they are now. They like blonde hair. You know what I'm saying? They like putting a white woman's crown on their goddamn head. They like having the better job over you. They like having, you know what I'm saying, having the option to do what they want to do in society. So you gotta think, why the hell should they want you in power, right?
Right.
The white man gives them all of this, special stuff and stuff over you and tells her, just like he told her in the Garden of Eden, that she can be a god.
Right. So like if I would. Now, a prime example of me that to me is some goddamn TV shows that we got. Like it's called these is my names for them. You got Origin Hip Hop, Slut Buckets of Atlanta, and Basketball Hoes. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't act like you don't know. Like they show like black women on there with the blonde hair, trying their best to look like a white woman, right? And the whole time on that show, every time I watch it, you see how they disrespecting black man on there, and they just disrespecting the crap out of black man all on that show.
Shit, but
let a white man.
The hell with hoes in hip hop.
Right.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
I certainly
I'm talking about
understand
real
what
life.
you're saying with that. Yeah, I'm
real
talking
life.
about women that we can see.
And that's what
Those
I'm
are
saying.
TV hoes.
Here's what I'm saying, sir. It's like,
Go ahead,
let me
Ward.
try to put it all together. And here's what I'm saying. Like, we already had it rough in the black community. But when shows like that came out, it brought these disrespectful women full circle.
Yeah, it made it worse.
It made it
way worse.
Damn right, sir. It made it 10 times worse. Then they're 100-fold worse.
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying?
Hell yeah.
And here's the thing, though. Like you women, that's make believe. Understand at the end of the day. Prime example. I'll give you a prime example. Beyonce. She's making all these songs to the left. Should have put a ring on it, this and that. She's making all these songs about breaking up with a man. Her and Carly B, they disrespecting a man. These bitches is happily married.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? These bitches is married.
They getting you to destroy your
And you ain't never seen them talk to their man like that.
Right.
The way that they telling you to talk to your man, you ain't never seen Beyonce trying to check Jay-Z. Never. She might talk that shit in a song to get your goofy ass riled up.
Right.
But you ain't never seen her do
And
it.
you ever notice
TMZ see everything else, but they ain't never seen that.
Right. And that's true. You know, so I mean, and here's the thing though, the sisters that claim to be down with black men though.
Right.
Because those sisters, a lot of those sisters, they don't claim to be down with black men.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They in it for the fame and the fortune and all that garbage. But you got certain sisters out there that claim to be down with the black man, that claim to be his helpmeet, that want to be his helpmeet, that you got them that claim to be that.
They
You know
don't
what
like
I'm saying?
that though, man. They claim to
Right,
say that
right.
shit.
They claiming to be his, you know what I'm saying? And they are all over Facebook,
Right.
and showing dishes and plates and everything on Facebook, or showing how cute they are on Facebook and all this and that.
Right.
They showing food, they showing what they get ready to eat.
Yeah.
You know,
Ain't no man nowhere in the picture. You don't never see the title.
Right.
I made this for hubby. I made this for my aunt. You don't never see that.
Or sometimes you'll see that, but see, here's the thing. They figure it's only mine first. My house first.
Right.
They ain't doing a goddamn thing with the brothers outside of the house. You know what I'm saying? They ain't doing a damn thing for a brother outside of their goddamn house.
Said, I'm down with the nation, just don't ask me do shit for it.
Right. You know what I'm saying? They're like, don't come with me with that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, sister will be like, hey, sister, can you help cook for the brother? Oh no, don't curse me with that.
Said, cook for my brothers? I don't mess with my brothers.
Don't curse me with that. But at the same time, they want to be exalted.
Right.
By black men, as some type of queen, as the helpmeet and all that. And then they talk about the white man, the white man put white women on the pedestal. Well, let me tell you something. The white woman helped the white man. When the white man was at war, the white woman made food, she made bullets.
Right.
She was in them goddamn factories making bullets.
Right. She even had the kids.
Yeah.
Little Timmy and Susie.
They did all of that. She made linens. She was in a textile factory.
Right.
She was rocking for her goddamn man.
Yeah, right.
The cave woman helped the caveman.
Right.
And that's why when our women honor their people, their men. Our women honor their men.
Right.
The white man, he's that. Well, he had the white woman to help him.
Right.
So if that's the goddamn case, you know what I'm saying? He had the white woman to help him. Why the hell ain't you helping your goddamn man? All you want to do is be a goddamn addition on to what the hell they doing. You cool with being a concubine with him, or not even a concubine. You cool with being a slut maid.
Right.
That's what you cool with being.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You cool with being a slut maid and hoping to get pregnant by him, who your child will not be an heir.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You so stupid to see something like that. You know what I'm saying? Your child, your little grand devil. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's say the C word. You know what I'm saying? Your grand devil. You know everything that he got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
And for the sisters that claim to be strong and down with black men, you should be cooking some goddamn dishes.
Yeah, right.
You should be like, wait a minute, hold on, my brothers is coming. You know what I'm saying? Let me hook up something. Let's come together, the sisters, and we do this and do that. But here's another thing. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? When you was in the world, you did it when it came to clubbing.
Right.
Let me call them up and see if, what they gonna wear, and we gonna make it to this club and holler at these men out here. But now that you claim to be in the truth, it's a totally different program, huh?
Right.
You
You
don't understand that same drive no more, huh?
Right. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even understand how the hell these brothers, you know what I'm saying, let their ribs do that though. Certain, I mean, they women. I don't know, certain brothers, I don't understand how they let their women be like that, though.
Oh, man.
It just behooves me. The only thing that I can come with, you know what I'm saying, well, is it behoove? Is that the right word?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. I ain't got a hell of a vernacular like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a country ass nigga. But I don't understand how certain people let the women be like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. I really don't understand it without demanding nothing of her. The only thing I can, come to think of is, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So, Lucky, if I would, like if you expect the bare minimum out of your woman, then that makes you a bare minimum ass nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's as simple as that. If you expect the bare minimum, then that means that defines your whole relationship.
And also, too, just like the scripture, let's read that scripture again. Let's read Proverbs 25 and 19 again.
Come. Proverbs 25 and 19.
If you just break it up, we're going to hold that though and bring this scripture up.
Confidence in the unlawful man in the time of trouble.
Which also go for an unlawful woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A woman is with you that's not, because she's supposed to be your helpmeet. And it said it's like what? Go ahead.
It's like a broken tooth.
A broken tooth because why? Because you scared to eat with
right.
it.
And a foot.
So wait a minute, hold on. So you scared to eat with it, right?
Right.
So think about it. You got a woman out there, you got a wife out there, and you scared to have her to cook some goddamn dishes.
Scared to give her an order.
Because you scared that she's gonna argue with you and gonna eventually leave you.
Scared to give her an order.
That's weak stuff right there. You know what I'm saying? Man, goddamn, that's some weak stuff right there, for real. That stuff right there will make a whole goddamn nation fall.
Yeah, right.
Ahab.
Right, kind.
Ahab was scared to check at Jezebel.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he figured, well, goddamn, some of the same devices that she pulled on those brothers.
She gonna do to me.
She gonna pull on me.
Right.
So I ain't gonna say shit.
I'm just gonna be quiet.
I'm just gonna be quiet about it.
She mad. I'm gonna just leave her alone.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. I'm just gonna be cool. As long as I can look like I'm king, you know what I'm saying? As long as I can have my diamonds and shit on, my crown and all that, you know what I'm saying? As long as I can do that, I'm good.
Yeah, right.
To hell with that, man.
Yeah, right.
You need to take a risk losing your goddamn diamonds.
Yeah, right.
Risk losing your crown.
Yeah, right.
Risk losing it to get every damn thing in order, because if you got all of that and everything ain't in damn order, what's happening in the underbelly is what's going to be made manifest. You know what I'm saying? So, if that's going on, then hell, your crown is going to be very tarnished and you're going to look like a dumbass with a crown on.
Yeah, right.
You see what I'm saying? Go ahead, boy.
And one thing that I've always said, I used to say this when I was in the world. You know what I'm saying? And now I understand how the spirit was on me when I came into the truth. You know what I'm saying? Look, I used to tell soft-ass Salaki, I used to tell weak men in the world, you know what I'm saying? Don't ever try to check me if you can't check your rib. You get what I'm saying? And rib ain't the word I use, but before you can ever try to give an order to another man, get that woman in order first. You know what I'm saying? That's point blank period.
No, wait. Let me say something right quick. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of that, you know what I'm saying? If you have a man that, like, on your job, you know what I'm saying? Like, say, for instance, on your job, right? You have a dude that's your boss, his woman, all out of goddamn order. You still got to do what that man say. That has nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You have to give that, you have to do what that man
Let
says.
me elaborate on it. I'm not talking about being insubordinate. You get what I'm saying? We gonna always follow orders, point blank, period. Especially when you're in this truth. But these issues that I'm talking don't necessarily pertain to the truth. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm talking about for a man to try to be dominant and masculine. Like prime example, it was a clip on YouTube where a chick was on a bus going crazy. She was all up in another dude's face, spitting and hollering and this and that, and her man standing right there next to her, not saying nothing.
I remember that.
And what happened, sir? He beat up the boyfriend.
He beat the dude up really
beat
bad.
up the boyfriend.
The dude couldn't check the goddamn woman.
Right.
You know what I'm
But he
saying?
trying to say something to that man.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
No, he didn't even say nothing.
He
What
did.
else did he say?
I thought he was trying to tell us what arguing with her. You know,
He was quiet.
I thought he was trying to tell the dude, don't say nothing to her, but you're not telling her not to say nothing to
Man,
him.
dude was quiet. He ain't say
Oh,
nothing.
so
He
he
was
was
trying
just-
to say stop. He kept trying to tell her to stop, but his stance concerning her was so weak.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, hey, stop, man, baby, stop.
Right.
And he was backed off into a goddamn corner and let her do her thing, and she ended up spitting on that dude.
And he freaked out.
And dude freaked the hell out and said, and he was getting ready to knock the hell out of her, but he was like, nah, yo, man. Wham, wham, and he beat the hell out of that goddamn dude on that goddamn bus. Man, he had that brother's eye, and I felt sorry for the brother. You know what I'm saying? I felt real sorry for that brother and everything. Man, he had that brother's eyes setting out like the goddamn the Hunchback of Notre Dame or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
And he had his eyes setting all the way out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
You know. And then here's the thing. Here's the funny thing about it too. This goes to the extent of the control that he did not have over her, because when dude got off the bus after he got through beating the hell out of him, he got off the bus. His hoe follows that man off the bus. You know what I'm saying?
See that.
Seriously, she got off the bus with him.
Right.
Dude gets off the bus lightly and delicately and shit, because he don't want no more of that funk that he just got from dude.
Right.
So he's like following way behind and everything. You know what I'm saying? And baby. That garbage. You know what I'm saying? That's what, and you know what? Here's the thing though. That's what women say a good man is.
Right.
But when something like that goes down, you know what I'm saying? That totally kills that whole damn theory of him being a good man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The good man to them is a man to let the woman run everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Man to let the woman talk, do all the time, he still be loving and sweet.
And so I can't forward. And just from that being displayed in public, you know that brother was going through hell at home. You know that brother didn't say not a word, not nothing.
He was used to getting his own ass beat.
By
Hell,
her.
he was more scared of getting his ass beat by her than he
him.
was by the damn dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know.
That's a product of Christianity. That's a prime example and a product of Christianity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Weak, effeminate man. You get what I'm saying? Scared to give an order. Scared to give an order. Scared to stand on what he believed in. If he would have nicked that in the bud at home, she wouldn't have acted like that.
Right.
A real woman, a righteous woman, wouldn't have dared act like that, because she already know that man is her Lord and she gonna serve him the way that she's supposed to.
Right.
He would have nipped that in the bud. See, that's why this UPK is so important. You get what I'm saying? Brothers in the truth, man. Listen, if you're going through that in this truth, man, you need to, you know what I'm saying, call General Muhammad up and get some goddamn counseling ASAP.
Hell yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Goddamn stones while you at it.
Damn right.
Balls while you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, damn right.
Make
You know
those
what I'm
grow
saying?
while you in the count.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that, sir.
Let's go to Luke chapter 8, verse 1.
Capital count.
White man's joke.
Damn right.
What?
So like you said, Luke, sir.
Luke, yes, Luke chapter 8, verse 1.
Luke chapter 8, verse 1. Luke 8:1. And it came to pass afterwards that we went throughout every city and village, preaching and sowing the glad tidings of the kingdom of God.
Because that's what it's all about right there. The kingdom, and how's the kingdom set up? The kingdom is set up by everybody being in order, right?
Yeah, right.
Including the women.
Yeah, right.
You see what I'm saying? And the women are supposed to be supporting and helping the goddamn men. Now, here's the thing, because what do they sit there and say? They say, well, you know, if the woman is making more money, then she should have the ability to rule the house.
Wow.
You know what they say?
That's what they say.
The hell no, that's not the goddamn case. If that's the case, then you say you ain't making nothing, you ain't working and whatever. You got a 16-year-old son in the goddamn house. He get a job at McDonald's making more money than you. Then you gotta let him run the goddamn house.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Is that how that works?
You're right. They don't want that.
You got a Disney kid, 8 years old.
Right. Or your daughter.
They gonna run the house.
Your daughter. Who did you beat the hell out of her head with that comb because the perm didn't take? Now you gotta let her rule.
Right.
Because she got a job at McDonald's. She make more than you. You know what I'm saying?
When you say that to a black woman, that don't make not a lick of sense.
Right.
But when we tell this to a black man that you make more money than him and you make the rules and it's 50-50, it don't make sense to a brother in this truth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the scripture said, the head of every woman is the man.
Right.
And the head of every man is Christ.
Right.
And the head of Christ is the Most High. That's just how it goes. You get what I'm saying? The point blank period. It don't matter how much money you making. It don't matter how much you love your white boss on your job. God damn it, when you come home, that black man is in charge.
Goddamn right. Go ahead, Ward.
Come. Of the kingdom of God, and the 12 were with him. A certain woman which had been healed of evil spirits and infirmities, Mary called Magdalene, out of whom went 7 devils.
All right, go ahead.
And Jonah, the wife of Chalza, is that what Herod Stewart.
Herod Stewart, Herod Stewart. She's the wife of Herod Stewart, means his servant. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And Susan, right here, sir. It jumps on. Susanna, and many others, which mistreated, ministered unto him of their substance.
Ministered unto him of their substance, right? So what does that mean?
That they was teaching, sir.
No, they wasn't teaching.
Yeah.
No. They ministered. To minister means to serve of their substance, whatever it was that they had.
Come.
Put it in today's time. A woman got a good job and she makes a nice amount of money. What does she do? She takes her money and she gives it unto, the men of the Lord to help further the kingdom of God. So how much, how much more than she was the wife of Herod Stewart. You see what I'm saying? Not a wife of any of the apostles or none of that.
She was
the
wife of Herod Stewart.
Right. Herod's servant, of whatever task it was that he was doing. She was the wife of him.
Come.
You see what I'm saying?
I can't believe I can't believe I fucked that up. Salaki said, like minister. Yeah, just think about the Christian church. What a steward is supposed to do, what a minister is supposed to do. You get what I'm saying? They're supposed to be serving the people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I guess I mutilated it because, you know what I'm saying, looking at the Christian church, that's what they don't do.
Right. They said they did what? They ministered unto him.
Come. They ministered unto him their substance.
Of their substance. What is their
everything they had.
The type of resource that they actually had.
You know what I'm saying? They needed paper, they had paper. They needed drink, they had drink.
Right.
They needed food, they had food.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They had money.
Now, this is what sisterhood is about.
Yeah, right.
This is what all sisterhood should be based on the women's ability to come together with resources and help out their goddamn men. Now, all sisterhood should be based on that.
Right.
If it's not based on that, let me tell you what it is. It's a witch's coven.
Makes sense to me.
You know what I'm saying? It's a witch's coven if it's not that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's a witch's coven, a feminist movement, all of that. Next thing you know, what end up happening is, they'll be talking to sisters on how to destroy their own goddamn relationships, while the chief and leaders of them will still remain married. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They'll be talking on how to destroy their relationships and all that. You know what I'm saying? To tell them how to destroy their stuff. They seeing a brother or whatever, and they're in a courtship or whatever the case is. They'll teach how to destroy that damn relationship while they've been with their man for 15 years. Right. And they'll, you know what I'm saying? And you done sat there and shook your goddamn man and they still got theirs, You see what I'm saying? You see that? That is a satanic agenda. That's not a godly agenda right there. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. That's what I was just about to say. So you hit it directly over the top of the goddamn head. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've been married 20, 30 years, and they see you about to accomplish something great. And instantly, they get to mentor in all the negative directions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Telling you to do things that they wouldn't even dream of doing.
Right. They wouldn't do that. They just would tell you to do it, and they have it on their heart. They thought about doing it with their man.
Right.
But they like, no, I ain't going to do that. I'm going to keep my man. I've been with him 15, 20 years, but I'll tell her ass to do it. Right. Because, see, she only been dating this man for 2 years. Something like that. So I'm going to tell her to do it.
Right.
And then I'll sit back and watch to see what happens.
Right, that's what I was just about to say. What they're really doing is living vicariously through you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They want you to do all the things that they wanted to do, but do better than to do. You get what I'm saying?
And then she will be the one that will be the leader, because all the leaders of these goddamn people that do this stuff, usually a lot of times they're married.
Right. And they're trying to install beliefs in you which they don't believe.
Right, exactly. They don't believe them at all. But then they'll throw some blonde in their hair.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you'll be following that. You know what I'm saying? Right. And you'll put blonde all in your hair, and it'll be a whole bunch of blonde black women.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Just like you see on TV, sir.
Right. Exactly.
That's exactly what you see on basketball. Right.
It'll be the same goddamn deal right there. You know what I'm saying? It'll be the same damn deal. They done got all the women with blonde goddamn hair, you know what I'm saying? Just like Eminem had all the white boys, the rebellious white boys with their hair, you know what I'm saying? Following after him. That's
what you see with the black boy.
Because the white man didn't want to go for that. You know what I'm saying? That's why he slapped the devil ass down. You know what I'm saying? The white man said, no, you ain't gonna push that bullshit on us. You know what I'm saying? And have our sons rebelling all against us and all that, right? That's why you don't hear a goddamn thing about it.
And that's why they got everybody's blaming them for everything.
And what people don't understand about something, right?
Right.
This is something that's got a little bit on the deep side. Blonde hair is a sign of rebellion.
Damn right. It's a sign of self-hate, sir.
It's a sign of being unclean.
Damn right.
It's a sign of being leprous. A sign of being the direct opposite of the Most High.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Damn right.
That blonde hair is a sign of that. It is.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? Because how did the Most High make the man's hair? He made the man's hair black, and the man's hair, when he grows old, turns solid white, gray, or whatever the hell the case is. But what it is, when a person dyes their hair, they're actually stripping the goddamn melanin up out of their damn hair.
Right.
And the Most High made men with melanin. You see what I'm saying? And made your hair have, you know what I'm saying, color to it also. Right. So when you strip the hair of it, what are you actually saying?
Right.
What is your spirit saying?
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying?
I hate myself. That's what it's saying.
Right. And not only is it saying that, it's also saying that it's the Most High in His image. Right. That's what it's saying.
Damn right, sir. Kind of.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it's also saying. And even with white people, it's a sign of rebellion also. You see what I'm saying? That's why Jewish men don't let white women, they're Jewish women dye their hair blonde like that, especially not their practicing Jewish women. They don't let them do it.
Right.
Because with them doing that, they're going to end up rebelling against them. You see what I'm saying? And they don't want that. Even when you see Jewish feminists and everything, right? How many of you see with blonde hair?
Right.
They are on the side of their men. You see
right.
what I'm saying? Even when they sit there and seduce and solicit you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
You dye your goddamn hair blonde, they still keep their stuff dark.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, boy.
If I would. And that's what I was just about to say. You trying to dye your hair to look like them, and they trying to make their hair look like yours. You get what I'm saying? And they rocking braids and shit now. Like even with the Jewish man, he had bought a goddamn hat with the braids already in it. You get what I'm saying? Even though he'd be a natural blonde, he don't rock that blonde hair. You get what I'm saying? He's gonna dye that hair any other color but blonde. He's trying to make it look like he got melanin in him. You get what I'm saying? That goddamn Jewish devil. The white man is the devil about to speak.
And while you got this melanated black women and everything, so proud to be melanated, but then they strip all the goddamn melanin out of their skull.
They go skull with the Wakanda.
And this is why everybody laughs at us. Yeah, this is the thing why everybody laughs at us. You know what I'm saying? Everybody looks at us as a goddamn joke. You know, and that's one of the reasons why, we are not in the power that we actually should be in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody, they look at us as a damn joke. Because they'll see our women do that, and that's how they know we still got them.
Right.
We still got them. Because he gonna follow her. And he gonna bow down to what she say.
Right.
So who gives a damn? Fine, no problem.
It's lucky if I would. And then, you know what I'm saying? The women, they dye their hair like you said, and then they put on the most whorish clothes they can find.
Right.
Just like they dress just like a white devil slut. You know what I'm saying? The most whorish, skin tight, you know what I'm saying? Showing all everything that they can, leave nothing up to the imagination of them. You know what I'm saying? Like man, like we have really fallen far from what we're supposed to be.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
But the thing about it though, counter that, the men gotta correct that goddamn thing.
Yeah, right.
That's what it is. We gotta be that fucking beast. You know what I'm saying? It's part of my language. We gotta be that beast. That angry nigga. You know what I'm saying? Right. We gotta be Killmonger and all of that. We gotta be that.
And here's the heavy part. So it's lucky if I would. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You don't look at a lion when a lion is roaring and trying to kill something and be like, that lion is too aggressive. You get what I'm saying? We are the fucking Lion of Judah. That's how we supposed to be. When we see something out of order, we supposed to correct it immediately.
Right.
You ain't never seen you ain't never seen a male lion let anything go out of order or not corrected immediately. Right. Whether it be with the woman lion or the cubs.
Right.
He can
coming
anything. He can arrest it immediately. He can lay there asleep. Wake up. Oh, what?
Right. Because he is about the survival of his goddamn and his species. He's about that. So you know what? We about the survival of our prize and about our species.
Damn right.
You see what I'm saying? That's why we symbolically the lion.
Damn
you know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
The lion roar about things. You know what I'm saying? And be ready to attack things head on.
Damn right.
And that's how we be. You know what I'm
saying?
That's
why we would never let that bull crap ride. Ever.
Right. Yeah,
ever.
Right.
Ever. We gonna check it every time. You do it 100 times, guess how many times I'm gonna check you? 100 times.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It ain't never gonna stop.
Any more of that spiritual word.
27, sir?
No. 25, it'd be going to 19. Hopefully, 20, Proverbs 25.
I was at Luke, sir.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's nice. It would be going 1 to 3. Any more on the
We was at 1, come. 1 to 12, Mary, 2 devils, 1 services. And when the
You
people,
the minister of the substance.
the minister, which minister unto them their substance.
The minister that they serve of their substance, or whatever the hell it was that they goddamn had. Why they said that, why people started talking about, well, you know, the man's supposed to be a provider, well, then why the hell are the women here ministering of their substance?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Give me Acts, and see here, let me tell you another thing, you know, when it comes to like sisterhood and everything, right?
Okay.
All right, now say for instance, you know, the man in this society, the women understand that the men don't have the advantage point that they have in this goddamn society.
Right.
So the one that actually does have it is supposed to cover the slack.
Right. So I was gonna say only black men, because once more, the issues that plague our community don't plague the Chinese community, don't plague the Korean community, don't plague the African community. They women understand and they serve their man. Like when you go into that Chinese restaurant, the man is at the register counting the cash.
Right, and the woman is out there bringing the stuff to the table, you know, doing stuff like that, doing her goddamn part, you know what I'm saying? And then you got another hell, a lot of times they have babies in there, another woman be out there taking care of the goddamn baby.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You go into the African shop to get your hair done, the woman is doing the hair.
Yeah, she's doing the nails.
The man is counting the cash.
You know, she's doing the feet, you know what I'm saying? She's, you know what I'm saying? She's setting her pile on the crusty feet and doing all of that stuff while the man's in the back.
I put a challenge out there. I want you to surf the web long and hard and find me a clip of a Chinese woman saying that I'm a strong, independent Chinese woman. Of a Korean saying I'm a strong, independent Korean woman.
They would fall if they took on that.
Damn right.
They would fall.
Damn right. I don't need a man.
You know why Korea is a superpower? And Korea is went into being a superpower.
Right.
From the 60s until now.
Right.
Has then grew to be a superpower off of goddamn weaves.
Damn right.
The woman selling you the weaves.
You putting fake hair in your hair,
right?
Your real hair falling out.
And then you get to the point to where you go into that Korean place with your big bad black ass, and you go in there and you decide you're gonna tuck a couple of pieces of dog's hair to stick in your damn pocket or whatever. The woman ain't coming out against you. That man coming out against you, and you don't put your ass right in that goddamn store.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. Choking you out,
right.
UFC style.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Beating the hell out of you. And then here's the funny thing about it, because when I saw these clips, I noticed how the black woman's fighting spirit was gone.
Right. Now, she didn't want to fight against that Korean man.
Right.
She trying to escape. She let me go.
The one sister, you know, the Korean was kicking her and all of that. And she was like, you know what I'm saying? She was like so docile and she was a big sister on top of that. He was a little Korean man.
Right.
He was kicking the hell out of her, punching her and all of that. And you know what I'm saying? She's twirling around trying to, you know, defend and all of that. And she's trying to make her way out the goddamn store. She could have easily knocked the hell out of him, but all her fighting spirit was gone.
Had that been a black man, that fighting spirit
would have been thrown, she would have turned into goddamn, you know, right.
The juggernaut. Yeah. No one hurts the juggernaut. You know what I'm saying?
That little heathen, though, you know, she couldn't do anything.
Yeah, he was too much for her.
Right, you know. he wasn't even too much for her, just the fact that his people have respect,
right.
And she, you know, and she admires them and all of that. You know what I'm saying?
She thinking her head, I was wrong. They work so hard for everything that they got.
You know, she's all like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Christian as could be. You know, she's a big sister too. On top of that.
Right, I seen it, sir. I seen it.
That was goddamn pathetic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying?
And it's a reason why. Now, if they say, well, why didn't the black man come to do it?
Here's the funny part about
black
that.
Man, I think black man was recording it, wasn't he?
Yeah, damn right. That's what I was about
you know
to say. They mad at the brother for recording it. But here's the thing, though. Why nobody stands up for the black man when the black woman is on just trying to... Well, prime example, what we was talking about earlier. That incident on the bus where the black woman was talking crazy and that man was trying to tell her to be quiet. Why nobody came to her man defense? Why didn't you listen to your man? Why come I didn't see none of them texts?
Yeah, you didn't see none of that. So now what are niggas doing now? Niggas ain't even jumping in.
They're getting the hell out the way.
Niggas is just going and recording.
Right. I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
She been beating up the black man for how long now?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, she ain't got no fighting issues when it comes to the black man.
Big and power thick, and you know what I'm saying? And niggas is thinking, the first thing you say, when you tell a brother, you be like, man, men are stronger than women. The first thing that brother say, no, wait a minute, hold on, though.
Right.
You know, I know sisters that can really get it in.
They can fight.
That's why he's sitting there with the goddamn camera.
Right. And here's the funny part.
Because he views it as being somewhat a fair fight.
The women say that. The women say that.
Yeah.
I've seen on Facebook where a black woman is just totally disrespecting her man.
Or beating the man up.
Calling them bitch ass niggas.
Right. I done seen the word of sisters where they beating the man up.
Right. They jumping.
And look at the comments.
Right.
They come from sisters.
Right.
Now you know why the nigga just recording it.
Right. They supporting it.
Right.
Like, show that nigga what's up, girl.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that nigga got life twisted.
Right.
Yeah,
and then the Korean man goes up there.
These days.
Why ain't the black man defending us?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now it's like that now.
Why ain't you listening to the black man?
Exactly.
I tell you, shut the hell up all day at home. You don't listen in, and then you wonder why the Korean man beating your head in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then you want me to come to your defense. Listen, I'm gonna just be real with you. If you unrighteous, look, it ain't no point of a righteous brother dying for an unrighteous woman.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I don't see that. I don't see like show me that in the scripture.
He don't have the strength. He ain't got the strength to, rise up and defend you if you always emasculated him inside the goddamn house. But then you get into somebody, you get in something over your goddamn head, and all of a sudden, come on, no, motherfucker, you take that on.
Right.
Pardon my language. You go ahead and take that on, you big bad bitch.
But you righteous women, you goddamn right. Brothers in the UPK gonna lay their goddamn lives down. No ands, ifs, buts about it. That's how I go. You get what I'm saying? You gotta be a righteous woman to deserve righteous acts. That's how it goes. And that ain't just for women, that's for the brothers too. You get what I'm saying? Like this has got to stop. And you only see this with us.
Right.
You don't see this with any other nation. You will never see that same scenario with any other nation.
Right.
And here's the goddamn point. We've been saying this since '69. It's 2018. Separate.
Right.
You shouldn't listen. Tomorrow, if every black woman decided not to go get her hair and nails done anymore with these heathens, you know what would happen with them heathens?
They would be ready to back up and leave.
Damn right. The same thing that happened with their company when the missionaries walked up.
Right.
That's what happened.
That's why they're here.
Right.
Because the white man fed us to them. That's why they're here. Now he cut off. Now the food is cut off. The food don't want to be food no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now the eaters got to do what? They got to go. They got to cut their losses.
Right.
And go on back over to where they was at. You know what I'm saying?
I'll make it simple for you. I challenge you for a year. For a year. Stop going to Chinese restaurants. Stop going to the Korean places to get your hair and nails done. You get what I'm saying?
I'll tell you what it's going to take. It's going to take for them to be more aggressive to niggas. That's what it's going to take.
Yeah.
It's going to take for them to beat the hell out of niggas when they come into their goddamn place because they don't want you in there. They hate you.
Right. That's why they follow you around.
They don't about you being a goddamn paying customer.
Right.
You're the people that they've inherently hated. You know what I'm saying? You come in, they don't. That's why they don't let you use the bathroom. Even though you're a paying customer, you can't use the bathroom in their places. That's why. First thing they say, you say, "Hey, can I go use the bathroom?" Bathroom broke, and they all say the same thing, regardless of where you go.
Or either they just tell you we don't have one.
That's a protocol.
Right.
They say bathroom broke. Bathroom broke. I mean, up north they might say they don't have one. But down in the south, they say, because they have, public restrooms in the south, whatever, but they'll say the bathroom broke. But then you'll see a white man come in, they'll give him the key to the bathroom.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You don't need no nasty ass Chinese food anyway. Come on, man. That shit is disgusting.
Let me ask you something real quick, sir. Let me ask the public something. Why come you never see any stray dogs or cats or squirrels or any of that running around at the same area that the Chinese restaurants are set up at. You don't even see birds over there at their trash can.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like they catching them dogs and cats and squirrels and birds and they feed it to you, dumbass.
Right.
You should not be eating there anyway. They serving you everything that's unlawful according to the scriptures.
And we be thinking, here's the funny thing, because I used to think this too. I used to think that like what Asians do was more healthy than what we do. You know what I'm saying? I used to think that, you know what I'm saying? Because the food is like, you know, the lo mein and the rice and stuff like that. So I'm thinking, okay, this is healthy. Man, that stuff, they don't eat that shit they got themselves. They don't eat that.
Hell no.
I've been to Asian people's houses, you know what I'm saying? And I see the difference in the food that they serve at their house from the food that they'll serve at a goddamn restaurant.
Damn right.
And then when you go to their house, I mean, man, we went to the basement, you know what I'm saying? They had a big house and everything. The people that we work with and everything, they invited us to a party. They had mats laid out. And these mats, each one of these mats will be as long as the school.
Right.
They would have like 2 of them, you know what I'm saying? And this would be in their basement, because their basement was as big as this whole upstairs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And this whole school, rather. But they would, you know what I'm saying, roll the stuff out, right? And they will have all of these different foods, and you'll see how much better that the foods that they eat actually taste. You know what I'm saying? And the quality of the food and all that, while they feed us garbage, they feed us the garbage inside those damn restaurants. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a clip where a brother was recording, and the women was taking noodles out the garbage. They was taking them out of the dumpsters, loading it up, you know what I'm saying? And taking it out of the goddamn dumpster.
Feeding you literally garbage. Literally garbage.
Feeding you literally garbage. And they all have the same kind of menus, regardless of where in the country you go. Wherever there's a Chinese restaurant, they have the same menus. They serve the same stuff. You know what I'm saying? You go to their houses, they don't serve the same stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They literally feed us the garbage of every damn thing and make us pay a high price for it. And we just pile all into their restaurants.
We just pile all into anything that's heathen, really.
Right.
Anything that's heathen and unlawful, we all for.
We gotta start looking at them people. We gotta start looking at every damn body as being disgusting, because that's what they are.
And that's how
we gotta see them for what they are. Right.
Yeah,
let me get another scripture before we close out, though. Let's get Acts chapter 16, verse 14, though.
Acts 16 and 14, sir? Right. Come. Acts 16 and 14. And a certain woman named Lydia, a seller of purple in the city of Tyre, which worship God, heard us, whose heart the Lord.
She's seen them. What she seen them out doing? She's seen them out having camp.
Right.
She's seen those brothers out there having camp, and what did she do?
Whose heart of the Lord opened, that she attended unto the things which were spoken of Paul. And when she was baptized in her household, she besought us, saying, if ye have judged me to be lawful to the Lord, come unto my house and abide there.
Man, and she invited them to her house.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? And when they went to her house, you know, she was going to cook and she was going to do every damn thing to accommodate those brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
You see what I'm saying? That's being selfless right there. You see what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, let's go to Exodus 35, and we're going to start at we're going to go to verse 25.
Okay. Oh, so I can get my first. Exodus 35 and 25. Sir?
Right.
Exodus 35 and 25. And when all the women that were wise hearted did spin.
Oh, wait a minute. It said the women that were what?
That were wise.
Now, if a woman want to know when she get the Holy Spirit and everything, right? It said the women that were wise hearted. Go ahead.
All the women that were wise hearted did spin.
They put their hands to work. That's what they did. Go ahead.
Did spin with their hands.
Spin with what?
Their hands.
So they ran around talking about a Shamalabanda. They ran around trying to get power and all of that. Did they do that?
Their hands.
And they spun with their hands. They spin with their mouth.
Their hands.
They spun with their hands. Go ahead.
And brought that which they had spun, both of blue and of purple.
They took those artistic skills, you know what I'm saying, and brought them both of blue and purple and all that. You know what I'm saying? Just like the Gadite women and the South American women that don't been known to do, you know what I'm saying, and weaving and making baskets and doing all that stuff to help their nation. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But somewhere we lacking in that stuff, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
we
right.
lacking in the support of our goddamn women. We are.
Yeah, right.
We are actually, our nation is actually lacking in that. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you the reason why. Because our women's hope is not really with us for real. Our women's hope are actually with our enemies. The one to give her that job is who she would much rather serve.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That is a problem that we certainly got to straighten out in this nation. I don't give a damn. Don't be afraid of losing the goddamn woman. I mean, hell, a nigga can have 10 goddamn wives. A nigga can drop one. One can drop off, and you can have 5 goddamn tomorrow. Right. How the hell you know? So that'll be better than the one that you goddamn lost.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons why our women don't even really look at us like that, because they smell fear. Women can smell pussy. Man, they can smell it.
Right. So
they smell. You know what I'm saying? A woman can smell pussy on a man.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? If a man is afraid to lose it, she knows it.
Yeah, right.
She knows it.
Yeah, right.
If a man is afraid to lose her, she knows it. And she gonna exploit that thing, and she gonna teach other sisters to do the same goddamn thing also.
She gonna put it to the test.
Right, go ahead. Do what you're gonna say, boy.
I was gonna say what you're saying is a heavy point. She's gonna put it to the test.
Yes.
She's gonna test you and see how much she can push you to the edge and your breaking point. And if she can break you, that's exactly what she's gonna do.
And see, here's the thing. Even if what she might do is ease off of you and go and do this to the people around you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, just like Jezebel. Jezebel didn't grind hard up on Ahab, no. She understood that Ahab was a very pivotal tool that she would need to destroy the men around Ahab that was of the nation of Israel. She understood that. She was a little more smarter than, you know what I'm saying? She was a little bit smart and more subtle, you know what I'm saying? Certain women will treat a certain brother good, and he think, well, as long as she treat my ass good, I ain't worried about nothing. But then he won't see what she's doing to other brothers. And how she's actually treating them when the goddamn cameras ain't rolling. And with that being said, we are the ISUPK coming out of 1 West on the 25th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding general your honor.
That's right.
Your tithes, pay your offerings, help support the brothers in this truth, help support your troops that are actually fighting for your goddamn nation. You know what I'm saying? Right. We are fighting for you. And with that being said, shalom.
Oh, sir.